Yo, what's up? Sports Dad is in the building, and I'm back to share some more information about the recruiting process. All right, so let's jump right into it. But before we do, please make sure that you subscribe and you like the video, right? And if you know people, please make sure that you're sharing it and telling them to subscribe as well, because it's just about getting the information out there, because I really want to help somebody. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the channel, because I do enjoy posting these videos, okay? So camps, let's talk about camps. So camps, should you send your child to camps? You know, a lot of people talk about camps helps the recruiting process and things like that, and I agree with that. But here's the thing, I highly recommend before you start spending money on camps, because that do cost, okay? Camps definitely cost. You have to make sure that your child is camp ready, okay? When you start dealing with camps and things like that, you got a lot of aggressive children there with different personalities, you know, and so this information can definitely go for football and basketball, by the way. But you got a lot of different aggressive personalities, and you know, so you deal with that, you know, at these particular camps. You know, you got kids that's trying to get noticed, and they have that mind frame, that business mind frame, like, hey, I'm trying to get exposed, so, you know, here we go. And so they're taking cuts, you know, they're trying to get all of the reps and things like that. And, you know, and I understand that thought process. But, you know, but you have to make sure that your child is camp ready. And what I mean by that is that their skill level is up to par, so that they can actually go to these camps and compete, right? And so, so before you start actually spending your money on the actual camps, because that really doesn't make any sense. If your child don't really have the skill level to compete with those guys at camp, or their skills are not up to par, then I would highly recommend you take that money and investing it in workouts. Okay, get with somebody, get with an athletic trainer, get with a basketball, football trainer, or it has to be someone that's training in your area. You know, do some research, because they're everywhere, right? And so, but take that money and invest it into training, right? Invest that money into training. And then once they get their skill level up and their training is up to par, then you actually start, you know, looking to, you know, get them in and getting them into camps. Because if they're not there, they'll notice that when they go to these particular camps, and they can play with their confidence level, and then it could just mess their, you know, opportunities up, you know. So you want to definitely make sure that they're camp ready. Now, also too, you have to have a goal in mind, you know, as a parent and as a player. And so, and it's a mind frame of business, okay? You have fun later, but it's a mind frame of business. So, so what do you mean by that? Well, if you're not physically gifted, what I mean by that, if for basketball, if you're not over 6 feet, you know, 6'5", you know, some ridiculous height or whatnot, then you have to be special. You have to be special, right? You have to be special. Same thing for football. If you don't have the, you know, the physique, or, you know, or the height or whatnot, you have to be special. And so how do you be special? You got to put the work in, off the court and off the field, right? When everybody else is sleeping, you got to be working. No days off. You have to be special. Special enough to be able to thrive in whatever type of situation you are placed in. And that is the key. If you don't get anything else from this particular video, get that whatever situation that I'm put in, where there is possible exposure or whatnot, I have to be able to thrive and be able to stand out and show that I am the obvious choice. And that's the thing, a lot of these kids don't really have that mindset, you know what I'm saying? And if you don't have that mindset, that business mindset, that, you know, I don't care if I'm familiar with the situation, I don't care if I am a little afraid or whatnot, I don't care. At the end of the day, I'm going to go out here and have some level of success, so that I can stand out and so that I can get noticed, right? And so, you know, that means your confidence levels got to be where they at, because, you know, people are gonna be talking smack to you or whatever, but at the end of the day, you have to be special. You have to be special. And so you have to be able to go into a situation and make a name for yourself. Listen, your parent, now I'm talking to the players, your parents can only do so much. All right, they can put you in the situations, they can get you the training, right? They can train you, they can make sure that you stand on top of that. But one thing that they can't do is that they can't get out there and perform for you. So what that simply means is that you have to perform, right? And you have to have that mindset that regardless of what situation it is, I gotta thrive. And that's one of the things that I notice about these people that are being highly recruited. Like, I watch a lot of, AAU basketball because my boys play AAU basketball as well. And one of the things that I know is that for those kids that are getting recruited, listen, they live this stuff. They live it, they eat it, you know what I'm saying? You see it on their posts, they posting it on their social media, which is a powerful tool as well, and we'll talk about that later. But you can see what they're doing. They're at the big time tournaments, and when they are in these situations, they're dogging, they're going to work, they're making a name for themselves. They understand that, right? They're thriving, they don't care, right? I was looking at, I was following the guy that's being highly recruited right now, and one of the things on his post he said is that he was like, I'm a natural born killer. That's what he said. He said, I'm a natural born killer. So, and I appreciate that. So that means whoever steps in front of him to try to guard him or try to compete with him, he's going to kill him, period. I don't care what type of situation it is, I'm going to thrive. I'm going to have a level of success to the point where it's showing that I am the obvious choice. And that's what it's really all about, guys. As parents, preach that to your children. Don't baby them. That babying stuff, it really serves no purpose. It really don't. It serves no purpose. Regardless, if they want to do this and if they're really serious about getting recruited and really serious about playing football or basketball, then you got to do what you got to do, whether they like it or not. If you're familiar with it, and like we talked about in our previous videos, if you know how to work people out, you know how to work players out, and you understand what it really takes and hard working and stuff to get them where they need to be, then do it. They're not going to like it, but they'll appreciate it in the long run. They really will. So that's what I wanted to share, before I can get into anything else, because I got some great topics that I want to talk about. I really do. But I wanted to just take some time and just talk about that. And that's one of the things that I can really appreciate. And I don't really mean to, I don't mean to sound controversial. I don't mean to cause any, ruffle any feathers or anything like that, but the truth is the truth. Like, that's one of the things I notice about kids that are growing up in the inner city versus, kids that are, in the suburbs. When I was growing up, I grew up in Detroit, Michigan, and I currently live, in the suburbs. And so I see a distinct difference from when I was growing up, looking at these kids out here versus the kids in Detroit. When we was growing up, we played basketball every day. We was outside every day. We was hooping every day. You know what I'm saying? So we didn't have access to cell phones or anything like that. Of course, that can kind of, withdraw our attention. The video games was there, but it wasn't that big of a deal. We wanted to go outside and hoop. We didn't care, right? We even if we didn't have a rim, we would walk past people's houses that actually had rims and knock on their door like, hey, can we come hoop? And so, but that was just the hunger and the desire to want to be good. I can remember, at the Boys and Girls Club in Detroit, right? In the Boys and Girls Club, they got a lot of activities, but we were really going to the Boys and Girls Club to play basketball, right? And it was a lot of talent up there. All these kids, everybody it was just like everybody could hoop. Like, really, everybody could hoop. So if you could really hang with those guys and compete with those guys, you was really in a good situation. And if you took one of those guys out of Detroit that can really play basketball and put them out in the suburbs, they would definitely dominate. They will be, because it's a distinct difference, right? Because those guys, that are in Detroit, that's all they got, And so, and that's how it was when we was growing up. That's how it was. And so you automatically, in a sense, develop that killer instinct, that killer mentality, right? It was either, kill or be killed. and that's, I see the difference, raising my kids out here in the suburbs, and I be trying to tell, preach this to my kids as well. Like, dude, if you was, living, where I was and back in my day, you would be getting killed, right? And that was just our mentality because we really wanted it. Like, we really wanted it as a dream. And you can really achieve that dream better now than ever. So, just take advantage of it. It's so many tools out here. YouTube is a powerful source. So, so I know I'm going on a little rambling, but at the end of the day, I'm really passionate about it. And I just want you guys to be able to succeed, and I don't want, parents to, waste their money or anything like that and just have an idea. But make sure that your child has that type of mentality, and that, whatever situation that they are placed in that's going to get them looked at, that they have the mentality that I am going to stand out, and I am a dog, and I am a killer, period. And with that type of mindset alone, you'll definitely go places. You'll definitely get noticed, because, coaches, one thing they look at is they look at that confidence, right? And if you got the confidence, that confidence will take you far. That confidence will take you far. So keep working, keep putting in the work, and stay tuned to this channel, because once again, I got some good information that's going to come out, and that's going to help, and that's going to really, really bless you guys. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks for showing the love. I'll be back.